Right, exactly 9:30. Thank you, everybody. At least we can then stick to the time. A very warm welcome and good morning to you all. And thank you very much for braving this weather we've been having and the storm and making it to our annual conference. I'm after a big favor. I hope you don't mind me reading from my notes. Even as a chair, I only get 10 minutes, and 10 minutes flies. So if I don't read from my notes, I run the risk of missing quite a bit out. So please bear with me. If I read too fast, all you need to do is wave to me, please. Before I introduce the day, I wish to run through some quick housekeepings because I've been asked by our wonderful Emma Riddle, the event manager for Royal Cornwall Show, to point out that there are 4 fire exits, 1, 2, 3, and that one through the main door. So 4 fire exits. There are no planned fire alarms during the day, so if the alarm does go, please take it as emergency. Calmly make your way to the fire exit and vacate the building. The fire assembly point is situated over the tarmac area where the car park is, right at the front of the pavilion. Please ensure all the doors are closed behind you before you leave after you leave the building. Toilets are downstairs, so they're situated on the basement level. So you go through this main door, turn right and right again, and you go down a set of steps, and the toilets are on the left-hand side. There's also a lift in the lounge for those people who might need use of a lift. Again, is located in the lounge. You're welcome to use it. During the morning, 2 of my colleagues will be taking photographs. So if any of you don't want to be in photographs, please let us know. So Ben Raswell and Mark Allett, they're standing over there. They'll be taking photos for our publicity and social media. So if you don't want to be in the photos, please let them know. Please hold on to your cups, because as you know, we've got to reuse it mid-morning break and lunchtime. And any rubbish, there are bins around the building, plus recycling facilities. And just for interest, Royal Cornwall Show was the first agricultural showground to introduce recycling in the country in 2008, for which they won a number of awards. So well done to them. There is Wi-Fi, but no password is required for attendees. But however, if we could ask you to limit your usage, just in case it impacts on the IT system for people online. To minimize interruption, could I please ask you to turn your mobile phone off? And I'll tell you a quick story. 2 years ago, when I was making this announcement, as soon as I finished, whose phone should ring? My own phone. So today I've made sure they switched off before I ask everybody else to switch their phone off. For those of you online, please put your question for speakers in the chat. We will try to answer as many questions as possible at the end of each presentation. If we run out of time, we have a panel of question and answer session right at the end of the morning session. So we will answer any questions that we didn't get a chance to answer earlier. I think the only thing, Ben, I haven't mentioned is your famous hashtag. I'm not into social media, so can I just, if I struggled, Ben, you'll have to. So if anyone wants to tweet, is #CCFF2023. So it would be great if you can tweet, if you can use your social media and promote our forum as much as you can. We'll be grateful. Before I go through some of the highlights of the past 12 months, and Cornwall Community Flood Forum's reporting period is October the 1st, 2022 to 30th of September 2023. So I wish to very much thank all of our wonderful trustees, members, advisors, and the organization that we work with for their immeasurable help and great support in moving Cornwall Community Flood Forum forward. Today, I also like to thank very much Devon Communities Together, particularly Chris Hunt-Watts and Martin Rich. I don't know if Martin is here this morning or, yeah. So thank you very much for your support. We're organizing the virtual part of our conference as well as one of our workshops in the afternoon. Sometimes support in kind is invaluable. If we had not had Chris today here, we would have had to pay a good £2,000, if not more, to bring somebody to run the virtual site. So thank you very much, Chris. We really appreciate it. And thanks ever so much to Devon Communities Together. It's good that we can work together. Right, I'm now going to move on to what's been happening globally in terms of flooding. I'm hoping everyone can hear me. Globally, there have been some very unusual weather events, such as serious flooding in Philippines, Australia, Nigeria, and more recently in September 2023 in Hong Kong, Taiwan, southern China, Brazil, USA, Greece, Turkey, Spain, and finally Derna in Libya. Sadly, in Derna, it left 11,000 people dead and 10,000 still missing. More locally, I'd like to thank Reese Hobbs' team, in particular Dion Jones, for giving me the information more locally about what's been happening across Devon and Cornwall. The last year was notable for having some of the wettest, driest, warmest month on record. In Cornwall and Devon, over the reporting period, which is October 2022 to October 2023, we've had the 7th wettest 12 months period since 1891. March, June, and July 2023 had exceptionally high rainfall, while January, April had notably high rainfall. We also had the driest February since 1998. The hosepipe ban, which started in parts of Cornwall in August 2022, was extended till April 2023 and was finally lifted on 25th of September 2023. Nationally, we've had the 7th hottest May since 1884, the hottest June, and June and hottest September since record began. In 2023, the world had its warmest January to September period on record. Whilst other parts of Europe and the world struggle with extreme heat, the peak summer holiday season in Cornwall was characterized by wet and windy weather. Is it any different? Which resulted in nuisance flooding, travel disruption, and many outdoor events being cancelled. In the UK, July had exceptionally high rainfall. April had Storm Noah. August had 2 named storms, Anthony and Betty. And September had 1 named storm, Agnes. Although Storm Babbitt is in October 23 and is outside our reporting window, I thought it's worth mentioning that this storm sadly left at least 7 people dead in UK, hundreds homeless, and over 1,200 properties in England flooded. Between 1st of October 2022 to 30th of September 23, there were 167 reports of internal property flooding in Cornwall. An additional 549 properties were affected by flooding, mainly land, garages, and gardens. And overall, 3,922 reports of flooding or blocked drains across Cornwall. They were reported to Cornwall Council. This year's highest monthly total for the number of properties flooded internally was 40 in March 2023, 39 in November 2022, which were scattered across multiple locations. During the high tide on 23rd of March 2023, 17 properties were flooded in Looe, 18 in Foy, and 1 in Mavagissey, while on 20th of June 23, 12 properties were flooded in different parts of Bodmin during an intense rainfall. We have to be mindful that not everybody reports their flooding to Cornwall Council, so these are the figures that Cornwall Council have received, and there are still a number of unrecorded flooding. No, I was going to do it at the end. Just to give you a break, these are the most recent one. So Penryn is October this year, which is outside our recording period. This is St. Austell School, sadly was flooded again this year. Looe and Penzance. Sorry, can I... Right. With the challenges that our weather is throwing at us and the impact we're having on our climate, we owe it to our young generation to help them to be more aware of their impact on the environment. We therefore decided for the first time last year to invite pupils from local primary and secondary school to join our afternoon workshop to learn about the importance of marine biodiversity in order to reduce the impact of CO2 and climate change. This year again, we've invited the pupils from Year 5 and Year 6 from Padstow Primary School to join us in the afternoon to learn about nature-based solutions for flood mitigation and flood modeling. So we're looking forward to seeing our school children. They'll be arriving around 1 o'clock. They always enjoy meeting you, so if you can be around to welcome them, that would be great. The further 3 years of funding, I'll now talk about our funding, because without our funders, we wouldn't have a forum and we wouldn't be able to have this wonderful event we're having today. And we wouldn't be able to reach out to our communities and help them to be more resilient. The further 3 years of funding from South West Regional Flood and Coastal Committee and the Environment Agency, which we were fortunate enough to secure this year, will continue to support the work of our forum in meeting our commitment to communities in Cornwall. As always, this funding is much appreciated, and it will take us through to the spring of 2027. Thank you very much, RFCC. We are also hoping to receive further funding from South West Water, which would be most welcome. Last year, we also successfully bid for a project called Making Space for Sand. And we were asked to deliver the community engagement aspect of this project, which is led by Cornwall Council and funded by DEFRA, and we, Cornwall Community Flood Forum, are one of the 4 partners. Jolyon Sharp is Cornwall Council Project Manager for Making Space for Sand. Joanne Smith from Cornwall Council and Ben Raswell from Cornwall Community Flood Forum will be presenting later this morning, and I will leave Joe and Ben to talk to you about where we are with this very important project. My main priority for the next 12 months and beyond is to ensure we deliver the agreed objectives clearly set out by our funders for both parts of the project, what we've committed ourselves to deliver on behalf of Southwest RFCC and also for Making Space for Sand project. We, the trustees of Cornwall Community Flood Forum, also endeavour to continue to listen to the concerns of our communities that are being impacted by the challenges from climate change and act accordingly. In the next few weeks, 3 of our trustees will be stepping down as they have completed the maximum 6 years service, which is allowed by our constitution. They will still remain as our members and continue to help us as they have been. We're therefore looking for 3 new trustees plus a treasurer with the new necessary skills to bring to our forum. If you're interested or you know anybody, please let me know. As some of you are aware, Molly Flynn, Cornwall Community Flood Forum's only staff member, left our forum to devote herself to her PhD studies in January 2023. Molly played a key role in delivering some of our objectives, for which we are most grateful. We are pleased that Molly has been able to join us today online from Swansea, where she is living now. Thank you, Molly. March and April were busy months for CCFF. We recruited 2 community engagement officers. Amy Richardson, she started on 26th of June and spends half of her time working on Cornwall Community Flood Forum objectives and the other half of her time on community engagement aspect of the Making Space for Sand project. Ben Raswell started with us on 3rd of July and is the full-time officer on community engagement aspects of Making Space for Sand project. A very warm welcome to Amy and Ben. Could I ask Ben and Amy just to stand up so everyone can see? Ben is right at the end and Amy's here. Amy and I and the CCFF trustees have actively been working throughout the year with a number of town and parish council on their flood plans, including Weybridge, St Ives, Choro, Guig, Stidden, Chasewater, Perranawatho, the Isles of Scilly, St Ives, Falmouth, Penryn, as well as being busy organising the annual conference. Well done to Choro City Council and Chasewater Parish Council for completing their flood plan, and thanks to Parr and St Blasey, Loswedio, Portreath, Perranporth, Port Isaac for sharing their experience with others on how to complete their flood plan. They've been wonderful in running workshops, attending to meetings to help our communities to recruit volunteers to start work on their flood plans, and eventually they get their flood plan submitted. Mrs. Carline, I hope you didn't miss me thanking you for doing your flood plan. So well done, Chasewater. This morning, Ben Raswa, Loveday Jenkins, Dominic Fairman, James Biscoe, Mark Hallett, Roy Taylor, and Debbie Whittle are your point of contact for those of you in the room. And Amy Richardson is your point of contact for those of you who have joined us online. For those of you online, please put your comments and questions, as I said before, in the chat, and Amy will be regularly monitoring the chat box, making sure that your comments are dealt with. And finally, just to let you know, on the back of your agenda, there's the feedback form. We take your feedback extremely serious, so if I could ask you to fill it in before you leave and give it back to Amy, Ben, myself, or any of the trustees in the room, then we'll be ever so grateful. For those online, Amy will be sending them a survey feedback form. So again, we'll appreciate if you can let us have your feedback, because it would shape our conference for next year. Please also note that a short biography of each of our speakers is on the printout given to you with the agenda and the feedback form. Hopefully you've all got one on your seat. If you haven't got it, please see Amy or myself. And those online, I believe Amy has already emailed you the biographies. If you haven't received it, please let me know. Is there anything else I've missed out, or can I just introduce our next speaker? Sorry, I need to do this.
Just to say thank you for all your work over the past year.
Thank you. We couldn't have done it. We've all worked together as a team, so the team needs to be thanked. Thank you very much. And that includes a lot of our well-done members who support us throughout the year. So without further ado, I invite our first speaker from the Environment Agency, James Wimpress and Stephen Webster. Thank you very much.